Hello, my dear friends of symphonic brass music, and welcome on my sister's couch. As I said in the last video, I'm not in Frankfurt these days. I stay with my mom's place and my sister's place, yeah, having some days off, but actually not off because took some work with me. Nothing audio related, as I just took my MacBook with me, which is just my office computer. So, and I will not do the typical vloggy thing. I guess it's mainly this, and maybe tomorrow I shoot another one like this. We will see. You will see how this video ends up. But I want to talk you through what I'm actually working on, and what I'm actually working on is something in my head, something I'm just making my mind of, and this is how do I have to make the studio run the best it could be. I see myself as a songwriter, as a music producer, as a recording engineer, as a mixing engineer. I see the studio as my personal creative space, but also I see it as a commercial studio. And I realized that doesn't go in hand as much because, for example, I would love to have a mic'd up drum kit just standing there in the tracking room, and ready to go at all times. That would be awesome. I can't do this because occasionally bands are coming in. People want to use the tracking room for different stuff and so on and so forth. So I would always have to set up new, and that doesn't work for me because I'm lazy. So what do I do to make this all happen at the same time? I think it's pretty easy. Because my space, my little tiny place in the studio is the control room. So everything around this working space is pretty much built up the way I want it to. So I have a cable going straight where I can straight plug the guitars in and go straight to an amp simulation, which I use quite often. Obviously my Pro Tools is set up the way I like it. I have the plugins in I like, and blah blah blah. But everything else is a bit set up for being a recording studio, a commercial sort of recording studio. So my decisions based on how many cables go where and so on and so forth, they are based on how can I make this a studio the best for bands and clients. So for example, the other week, you saw it on the last week's vlog, we laid cables to the vocal booth. Obviously I would only need one or maybe two to record vocals. That's basically it, a headphone and two vocals. But I laid 6 XLR cables over. So there are 6 mic lines going from the vocal booth to the control room. Why did I do this? Well, maybe there is something that someone would like to do in the vocal booth which requires to have more than 2 mics. And this is how it's set up. There are 28 mic lines from the tracking room. There will be mic lines from the lounge, from the bathroom, and so on and so forth. These are all decisions I made, not because I want them to, personally, but I think they can come in handy if some bands want something, blah blah blah. So if you set up a studio somewhere, it's good to make up your mind what you actually want to do with your space. Obviously in terms of cable, but also in terms of gear. Do you seriously need a lot of mics? Do all the mics have to be expensive, or is it okay that some of these mics might be cheap and just, well, use it occasionally? So yeah, it makes some sense to make up your mind where you want to go. Because if you say, for example, you're just a mixing studio, well, put all your money into your computer, your plugins, if you want to, your outboard gear, and obviously your monitors. But if you say, well, you're basically a beat programming guy, but just make it a comfy place for yourself and make it sound the way you have fun working. I hope you get the point. Yeah, and that's the stuff I make up my mind these days, and I think about while being at the snowy and now sunny Lake of Constance, enjoying some days off and trying. Good morning and welcome back. Yeah, didn't shoot as much in my hometown as I thought I would. And today is already Sunday, and it's yeah, the very first day I'm back in the studio since like don't know when I last been in here. But anyway, yeah, not much happened studio wise. Or it has a bit. Some things I don't want to talk about yet because nothing serious to talk about. And I want to wait for things to settle down. But also, and I'm just checking a bit if the studio is fine again. But also a bit of the feeling that it's sort of back, and there are some jobs coming in frequently, not on the way it used to be, obviously because bands are missing. But there are jobs coming in and jobs coming back, so that's pretty great. And to be completely honest, and then to reflect on the video you saw on Sunday, which comes out today for me, I was close on quitting in the last few days because of stuff that just came across and stuff that happened. I don't want to talk about yet because not done. And I seriously came close of quitting, and just some people told me no, don't, because there we go. We're gonna get through this. And right now, speaking for Sunday, the 11th of April, like 9 o'clock something. No, I won't quit. Seriously, I won't quit. I will fight my way through, and we will get through this. And so yeah, I'm looking forward. I try to look forward to the next few things coming up. And there are some small recordings going on in the next few days. I have to mix something. And then, yeah, other jobs just lurking around in the distance. So I try to keep optimistic, try to keep myself optimistic. And I hope you guys do as well. If you are in this struggling situation. Like I guess we all are in currently. And yeah, let's see. Let's just see. Trying to keep myself busy the next few days. The problem is that the kindergarten is closed. The town I live in, current for the next 3 weeks. So I will only be in the studio for like 2 or 3 days a week and stay home with my kids, because my wife has stuff to do as well. So I'm a bit in charge of the kids, which I try to look forward to. That's the big issue, but yes. And to go on with the thoughts about the cabling, I try to explain what I came up with. Let's talk about cables real quick, or the thought of, there's a pillar in the way. My thought of making the studio this all-purpose thing. So I actually came to the conclusion that everything, depending wiring, will be for commercial studio. So there will be 28 XLR inputs in the tracking room. There already are, there are 6 inputs from the vocal booth, and there will be 6 inputs here and 2 in the bathroom, here in the kitchen. Reason being, I want to be flexible, and also the guitar cap. I want to be flexible as much as possible, and there's the patch bay. So I highly can recommend, go get yourself a patch bay, because you will be more flexible in everything you do. I'm happy to have a TT patch bay with 48 inputs, or 48 plugs on the top, 48 on the second row. So I have pretty much a whole lot of options. So what I'm gonna do is I already did, wired all the inputs to the patch bay. They will be routable to various mic pre's. All these mic pre's are patchable to outboard gear or go straight into my converters and Pro Tools. And currently I run all the outputs patchable to headphone preamps. And this is something I thought I want to change. I have my eyes on, and yes, it's Behringer, M16, I think it's called. It's a personal monitoring system with Ethernet. And so all I have to do in the near future is run some Ethernet cable through the studio and have some plugs in all patches, in all, yeah, on the walls, so that the musicians just need to plug in their controller, and they have 16 channels mixable for themselves. Or I do it in Pro Tools, and they just get a stereo mix. So there you go. That's way more flexible and way more easy, and way less cable running around. So that's the idea for the future. So what I'm gonna do now is trying to get some cables in, get some stuff done, but I also want to still focus on acoustics. And for mixing, I just focus on the control room. This is where the acoustic is coming in. So in terms of, I'm a mixing engineer, I try to make the control room sound as best as I can. And I have this proposal by Acoustic, and I will stick with it. And I will try to get these panels in piece by piece. And in regards of being a songwriter and a producer, I will just try and get everything I need in terms of software instruments. I will stick with software instruments. Reason being, I want to work remotely. I want to be able just to pick up the system, go somewhere else, or to take the session and my plugins, go somewhere else and work there. And also coming back to a project on a later time, because I do so many things at a time. I simply can't have a guitar amp sitting somewhere that wants to be set up for a sound, just to realize later, well, it's a bit much of tremble, let's say. by running all that through software, I'm capable of changing a drum fill 3 weeks after I started the song. If I mic my drum kit, as I would love to, but if I mic my drum kit and I have to change it because someone's coming in. So let's say I write a song, my drum is already mic'd, I play a groove, and I revisit the song like 2 weeks later, but a string 4-piece has been in, and I had to put all the mics away. I can't just re-record this one fill, but if I have it in Easy Drummer like I do these days, I simply change the MIDI. And so I'm way more flexible in the way I work. So this is how I'm gonna go on with songwriting and producing. I stick with software. And I know that there will be a lot of people saying, well, you can't do this. Yes, I can. And the option is open for saying, okay, let's stick with the drums, to say, okay, the drums are done, I get a drummer in, or I play it myself and we record it once. And that's just half a day session for recording like 2 or 3 songs. If that's demanded. Or I can reamp all the guitars if wanted. But I don't hear the difference, and I think there are one project is out, this is Arrow, and the other one coming out soon, Sneaker and the Sinister Blues. They are my way of saying, if you do it can sound good. It's possible that it sounds really, 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 really good and really organic, even though using a lot of software stuff. So yeah, that's the way I want to work in the future. And this is how I already set it up, and I will continue setting it up like it is. And that's my conclusion for this week. So yeah, not much happened this week because I was out at my mom's place, and so not the episode I thought it would be for the second week, but there you go. Next week will be some more stuff we did. Jennifer is in next week, so that's something new, and I hope I can tell you some more stuff, some happy news in the next few days. Trying to work on a lot of things, and yeah, thanks very, very much for watching. If you want to support me, there's a link to buy me a coffee and Patreon down in the description below. Thanks very, very much for watching. See you soon. Bye.